Before we get to our next tasting, we wanted to share that July is Sarcoma Awareness Month.
My son Jason was diagnosed with osteosarcoma at the age of 7, and after about a year of fighting, he passed away September 2016. He did get to have his wish fulfilled through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which was to become a YouTube star. The link to that video is down below. He got to go out to California and meet some of his favorite YouTubers. That's part of the reason why we started this channel, as a little nod to Jason.
So this month, we'll be promoting a GoFundMe charity in Jason's honor. Any donation would be greatly appreciated.
Sarcomas account for very few adult cancers, but they're about 20% of pediatric cancers. And currently there's only about a 50% survival rate. So obviously funding and research is very much needed.
Again, any donation is greatly appreciated, and we appreciate your support.
Now, on to the whiskeys.
Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Kevin, and welcome to Exploring Whiskeys, where we sample whiskeys from around the world.
Today we're going to be taking a deeper dive in the Buffalo Trace Distillery. We're going to be sampling the Colonel E.H. Taylor small batch bourbon.
So almost all of the bourbons that come from the E.H. Taylor line are bottled in bond. So that means that it's coming from a single season, from a single distiller, in a single warehouse. Has to be bottled at 100 proof. It is regulated and bonded by the federal government. It has to be aged a minimum of 4 years, and it has to show up right there on the bottle.
So Colonel Taylor himself, he's actually considered the kind of the founding father of the bourbon industry. He started by purchasing the OFC distillery, which is now known as the Buffalo Trace Distillery. And there are some of the techniques that he developed way back in the 1800s that are actually still used by the distillery today.
Let's crack her open and get a taste. The small batch is the mash bill 1 from Buffalo Trace, so it's a lower rye wheat bourbon. But at the 100 proof, you smell that ethanol. That's the first thing you get off that nose. That's also been sitting in the bottle for just a touch of time. Well, that's neat. So initially, a lot of burn from that 100 proof.
Yeah.
And then transition straight into, not sure what that sweetness is, but there is a powdery sweet note.
Let's see what we got to the nose here. Not many people say hot to the nose, but there is. It's a little hot to the nose.
There's a very strong ethanol. That it's been sitting in the bottle for 2 years that I've had this bottle, so it's been sitting in there for a touch.
It's got a sweet smell to it, though.
Yeah, there's some kind of a candy. I don't like a. Feel like I say this all the time. A little bit of a caramel note. I'm not sure. There's something in there as well. It's not just caramel. Little hot on the taste, just at the very beginning. Mellows out really quick.
Very quick.
There's sweetness. There's a corn flavor. I don't know. I know I get a licorice sometimes. Yeah, possibly
a little peppery.
Pepper, yeah.
I feel like a lot of them though. It's kind of consistent. You still get a little bit of that tobacco.
Yeah.
A hint.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of bourbons have that.
I wonder if that's just something you get off that charred oak.
Possibly.
Yeah. Going back in for the second taste, much better. That initial burn that you got from that first taste, you start to get acclimated to that. It's not nearly as much, but now it's way more of that pepper now.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. So much more of that pepper note in there. Overall, the color's honestly pretty light for a bourbon.
Yeah.
A little bit more of an amber color. There is a pretty solid oil here, so you can you almost taste that a little bit as well. But at 100 proof, about 4 years, not a bad bourbon.
No, it's a good bourbon. It seems to be one of those that's becoming harder and harder to track down.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate to probably have 2, maybe 3 bottles over the last couple of years.
Nice.
But yeah, overall, pretty solid bourbon. I think what price range is us, $50, $60?
MSRP is $40.
Oh, I got ripped off.
There's no way you're finding this for $40 today.
No.
If you can find it for $50 to $60, pretty good buy.
Yeah.
I want to say this bottle was, it was $50 when I bought it 2 years ago.
Okay.
So saw it at the store. As soon as I saw it, I knew I was grabbing it at $50. So
yeah, if you haven't sampled this yet and you come across it, it's worth picking up a bottle.
yeah, it's going to be a good sipper for a long time. It's not something that you don't throw ice on it. No. I don't think. This is just something you sit back and enjoy the little bit extra you get from that 100 proof.
Well, if you've enjoyed what you've seen so far and you'd like to learn more about whiskeys, please hit that like button on your screen.
And along with that, if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so that you get reminders every time we post. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.